Welcome back. In this lecture, we're gonna look at Drools language syntax. Previously, we learned that structure of any rule has two parts. When a condition is true, then action is executed. So if we want to write rules in Drools domain-specific language, then this is the basic structure. It also has a when part that lists the conditions that have to be true, and then part that has the actions to take. When part is called left-hand side of the rule and then part the right-hand side of the rule. So let's look closer. First, you will write the keyword rule, and then between quotation marks you would write the name of the rule that has to be unique in the session. Then you would have rule attributes, if any, and then you have when side. As I said, it's the left hand side, and you can write this in either MVEL language or a Java language. We come to this in a second. And you have a right hand side of the rule or then part that has the Java instructions and some keywords. And then you have to write end. So this is the first example taken from the example code. This rule marks passports valid. So we have a name, valid passport. We have one attribute, dialect. So we specify that the when side of the rule is written in MVEL language. So actually Drools itself use another language. And don't get hesitated, it's a very simple language and it's very good for pattern matching. That's why we use this language from now on throughout this course. We'll have a quick course in this lecture coming up. So when and now we are looking for objects of type passport. Like we have different objects in the session, we have visa applications as well, but this rule is looking for objects with the class of passport. And it only is looking for specific passports, and these conditions are between parentheses. So this is no constructor, as you can see, there is no new keyword. Parentheses just give what are the conditions that the passport, the object, has to have. So first, if we would call is expired of this object, it would have to return false. This is the exclamation mark, the same as Java. And the comma stands for and. Get unused visa pages should return a positive number. Then part is just a system out print line. It's a regular Java code. So, quick course on this MVEL language. As I said, if we want to do pattern matching, we first say what is the type of the objects we want to match, and then inside parentheses we have the conditions that have to be true, and we use comma, but we could use double ampersands. And if we want, we could use the OR construct. It's the same as in Java. And in MVEL language, the correction between strings and numbers is automatically done by the system. So let's see some differences in language constructs. As you saw earlier, we don't use the getter. In Java we would write passport.get passport number, but here we just write the field name, and it can be private, and then behind the screens the getter is called. And this construct might be also familiar to you from other languages like Python. This if company is not null, then get name of that company is returned, otherwise null. And equals, we can do equals for strings, and if you look at strings, they can be between single ampersands or between double ampersands. Okay, we have some collection support. Also, similar from other languages besides Java, and you can write null or nil, it means the same. So let's look at the collections. So the language has lists and arrays and maps. So, and you know that strings are arrays. So if you have a string Canada and you want to take the first element out, this is C. And a map, so you can declare a map with a key colon value, comma key colon value. Okay, here is a mistake. And if you want access, it's similar to Java, but if it's a string, the key is a string, you can also use a dot. They are equal with each other. So that much about MVEL. Very good language to match patterns, so no need to be afraid of that. Let's see the right hand of the Drools rules. These are written in Java, but they can contain some Drools specific keywords like modify, and you can get a reference to objects on the left hand side of the rule. So if you match a password, you can refer to that password in the then part. We looked at a bit later. Summary. Drools rules have two parts. When part, that is also called left hand side rule, and then part, called the right hand side rule, that will fire if the when part evaluates to true. Left hand side is written either using MVEL syntax or in Java, and throughout this course we use MVEL. Right hand side is written in Java.